Hey, what's going on guys? Mark back in the workshop on Mark's Aquatics. A little bit of a different one for you today. Last year some of the local kids found a big elephant hawk moth caterpillar creeping around the road, and they brought it to me because they know I do all the videos and stuff, and they all watch them, and they said, Mark, can you look after this? We don't know what to do with it. I said, well, you can leave it in the wild and it'll go under some bushes and things and hibernate, and it'll hatch in the spring. Or we could do a little experiment and we can put it in a little Tupperware box with some peat and see, go through the transformations. I'll keep you guys updated, and then the following spring, which is now, it's time for it to hatch. So stay tuned for the video, watch it from start to finish, give us a thumbs up if you like it, and I hope you enjoy the video. Me and the guys here have just found an amazing, hello Chloe.
Yeah.
Right, we've just found an amazing elephant hawk moth caterpillar. Look at that, he's absolutely fantastic. In fact, it looks like a bit like a shrew crawling towards me at the moment.
He's very big.
But what we're going to do, these guys live on fuchsias, so we're going to feed him up, we're going to put him in a jar, and we're going to make him go into his little chrysalis over the winter, put him somewhere cool, and then in the summer or in the spring he's going to come out. Right, okay girls, I've put this monster of an elephant hawk moth caterpillar now into some Tupperware, and we're going to make sure we got lots of little perforated holes in the lid, and we put a nice little layer of soil in there. Now what he's going to do, when they get to this stage, you see them rambling around out in the street, walking around, they've finished eating, they've come out of their bushes, which are normally fuchsias, what they eat, and then they're going to go looking around for somewhere to pupate. So by giving them some earth, putting them in a dark place, somewhere that's frost free, that's very important, these guys are going to pupate. So when it pupates, I'll get back to you and show you the pupation taking place, hopefully, if that's the right word for it, and then we can put him to sleep for the winter. Well guys, I completely missed that little transformation. We have now a little pupa in there. Well, not little, it's quite big actually. If you look at the size of my finger there next to it, it's a fair old sized pupa. Now you can still see the head. I've just got my tongs and I'll just show you without poking, I'll be careful, but that there is the head. And obviously what happens is when these guys pupate, they shrink and that outer skin pops and splits and rolls back over the top, and that's all the... Hello Lemon, my cat there, Lemon, howling away at me, wanting some food. But we've got a little pupa there now. Now it's very important, yes, it's very important, like I said before guys, to keep these out of frost, because what they'll do when they're outside is they'll burrow under leaf litter, deep into leaf litter where the frost doesn't reach them, okay, and they'll quite happily stay there throughout the winter months, and then obviously in the spring, then they'll, as the temperature warms up, they'll hatch out and fly off as adult moths, which is what we're going to hopefully be seeing in a few months time when we carry on with this video. So for me and this gorgeous little grub there, we're going to wish you a safe trip through the winter, and I hope to see you in the spring. And one other thing I will say before we end this little part of the video is just make sure that when you do these, you keep them outside somewhere where they're going to be kept to the temperature, that temperature that you're going to get all through the year, okay, those fluctuations and everything else. Because if you do this inside, what's going to happen is it's going to pupate and it's going to hatch far too early, and then when you release it, there's going to be nothing for it to feed on. So obviously they time their hatch in the spring when the flowers and when the fuchsias and everything else are about, so they can actually feed, okay, and then lay their eggs again and everything else. So it's important that you leave these outside and keep them in a cool, frost-free place, okay, if you're going to have a go at this. Right, we're going to see you in the spring. Right guys, it's the spring. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun? Anyway, all those months have gone by, and if I lift up this little lid, I've got a little surprise in there for you to look at. I'll go nice and gently, because somebody has hatched. Look at that. I'll just put his little lid there. But if you look in there, we've got an absolutely stunning Elephant Hawk Moth. Look at that. Right, you can see the old spent chrysalis case, which is right there next to my rusty old tweezers there. He's popped out there overnight, and look at that. I'll get some close-up images of him or her. What an absolutely amazing colourful little moth that is. Now when these guys hatch out, they'll mainly feed on honeysuckles and plants like that, night scented flowers. They'll fly around at night. You never see these guys during the day. They're active mates mostly at night, like most moths are, and they'll feed on the honeysuckle. So if you're lucky to have a honeysuckle in your garden, these guys are going to frequent them, and if you go outside of a night time, you'll hear them buzzing around the flowers, taking the nectar out. But also now is the time where these guys are going to fatten up, and then they're going to start laying their eggs again, which they lay on fuchsias. The caterpillars, like you saw earlier on in the video, those caterpillars were munching away on fuchsias, willow bay, stuff like that, and willow herb, bedstraws, all those, and like I said, the fuchsias and stuff like that. And that is where they will lay the eggs, and that little cycle starts all over again, and it never ceases to amaze me. It's something that you can do now, not now but later on in the season, or if you're lucky enough to go looking in your beds or in your back garden, somewhere like that. If you've got fuchsia bushes, if you look under the fuchsia bushes, you will see you might find the chrysalis, because they'll stay in the fuchsia bush and then they will eat what they want. Sometimes they wander off, other times they'll just go to the ground, and they'll crawl under all the leaf litter, which will then protect them from the frosts throughout the winter, okay, and early spring. And that's where you can find one. So if you're in your lockdown at the moment and you're looking, you've got a fuchsia in there, carefully go around, you might find these chrysalis. You can carefully pick them up, put them in a little jar like this, make sure you've got a lot of ventilation holes, and then keep it in outside, and then go there in the morning and you'll see it, and then you can show your kids. They'll be fascinated by it. And then you can leave the top open outside, and then they'll fly away at night, and they'll carry on their little life cycle. Absolutely beautiful. There's two little white spots either side on the wings, stunning pinks, olivey greens, and those lovely little white legs. Look at that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little video. It's been a while in the making, and if you're new to my channel, which is predominantly fish and breeding fish and stuff like that, check out the other channels, check out the other videos, sorry, and you might find something on there that you like. If you like what you see, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and all that stuff would be fantastic. And as always, you're all stars. Love you loads, take care, and I'll see you on the next episode of Mark's Aquatics. Bye for now.